We're doing a draft of the all-time best draft picks under Bill Belichick, who's been obviously with the team since 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's eligible except Tom Brady, because obviously that would be the first pick. By the way, Mike Reese pointed out yesterday, 83 draft day trades made by Bill Belichick, far and away the most since 2000. I think a lot of it has to do with he's in charge. He doesn't have to worry about getting anyone on the same page. He can do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. All right, you get the first pick, Tom Curran. Best draft pick made by the New England Patriots under Bill Belichick since 2000.
All right, non-Brady draft picks. I'm going to take Rob Gronkowski. We're doing Brady? No Brady.
No, I said non-Brady. No Brady.
Okay, fine. I'm going to take Rob Gronkowski, 2010, second-round pick, 20 years old, coming off a season at Arizona in which he did not play. He ends up going on to become arguably the greatest tight end in NFL history, and as a result, he helped catapult them to however many Super Bowl appearances they had last decade and 3 Super Bowl wins.
But he was never a Super Bowl MVP, unlike a gentleman who was selected in round 7 at a position where they have struggled to draft and develop receivers. We have done the stories, and I've gone back and looked at all the guys from, remember Chad Jackson, what a disaster that was when they used a second-round pick on him way back in 2005 or 6-ish. But Julian Edelman, a 7th-round pick who would become not just the successor to Wes Welker, but a Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl 53. Great value from a 7th-round pick, Tom.
Great value from a 7th-round pick. And again, it's interesting because that's a drafted wide receiver who was developed to replace a wide receiver they had brought in via free agency, Wes Welker. They love the free agent route. Let's go next with my my 2nd-round pick. It's going to be Richard Seymour in 2001, 6th overall pick. The Patriots had to hit on that pick. They are coming off a 5-11 season, and Bill Belichick finds the anchor who ends up being a Hall of Fame anchor for his defensive line in Richard Seymour in 2001, 1st round, number 6 overall.
Now it gets a little more difficult. You know where I'm going to go? I am a student of the Jimmy Johnson School of Special Teams. It is 1/3 of the game. It is as important as offense and defense, and if you take it for granted, you end up losing at home to an overmatched 49ers team like the Packers did. Matthew Slater is a 5th-round pick in 2008. The amount of years they've gotten out of him, he has been a cornerstone. He was recently compared to the likes of a Lawrence Taylor on defense, the importance he's had to the special teams in New England by Bill Belichick since 2008. I'll go Matthew Slater. Sneaky, under the radar, solid draft pick. They never would have dreamed that he would still be on the team for all these Super Bowl wins and also be such a cornerstone of their special teams and still keep going. You got something to say about him? We got to take a break. You got something?
Love it. No, I think that's a great pick. Tremendous and good stuff. And we're done.
All right, there's the draft so far of the best draft picks made by Bill Belichick since he arrived as head coach of the Patriots and de facto GM in 2000. Tom, you are on the clock for the 3rd pick. Who you got?
I'm going Vince Wilfork, 2004. Wins a Super Bowl as a rookie, helps to solidify that defensive line and keep those linebackers clean all the way until 2014, and also helps to shepherd through that Patriots way culture that he learned under Seymour, Vrabel, Bruschi, and then passed it on to the next generation. Really a huge cultural touchstone. Taken in the 1st round, I think it was 24th overall. I should know that off the top of my head. What the hell?
Out of the University of Miami. And that's a great pick because he was the defensive bridge between the two halves of the dynasty. Tom Brady offense, Vince Wilfork defense. Good pick by you. I thought about Stephen Gostkowski because when Adam Vinatieri leaves for the Colts, they use a 5th-round pick on Gostkowski, and he keeps the kicker position under control for a hell of a long time. But I'll go with Deion Branch, another Super Bowl MVP. Another, when you look at the road of pissed away draft picks at the receiver position that Bill Belichick has had, you've got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Not many teams can say they've drafted 2 receivers over the past 20 years who have become Super Bowl MVPs. The Patriots can. Deion Branch, 2nd-round pick, but still won a Super Bowl MVP. It fell apart once he decided he wanted to get paid, and they didn't want to pay him. They eventually traded him after an acrimonious holdout to the Seattle Seahawks, but he was a Super Bowl MVP, so I'll go that way. Tom.
Also really cool about Deion Branch, when they finally said enough is enough with Randy Moss and they dealt him, the guy that they brought in to replace Moss in 2010 was Deion Branch, and he ended up playing the next 2+ seasons for the team and had a nice little run with them when he came back, helped to reconfigure their offense.
What a steal that was during the draft in 2007 to get Randy Moss, a guy that we all thought was washed up and done. He hadn't even had 10 years in the NFL at that point, but he had 2 disastrous seasons with the Raiders. And the bottom line is they stunk. So he was the guy that he was in Minnesota when things wouldn't go well. He was just that way every week because the Raiders were bad every week. People just forgot how great he was. And what'd they get him for? A 4th-round pick?
4th-round pick.
That's one of the all-time great trade steals ever. And he comes in and he has one of the great seasons for any receiver ever right away.
And it also led to the Al Davis overhead projector press conference, in which he said that Mike Lombardi actually told everybody that Moss was slow and then sent him to the Patriots as a favor to Bill Belichick.
Secret workout in Miami where Belichick got to see how fast he was, and Davis accused Lombardi and Belichick of being in cahoots. I remember that vividly. Cahoots. And then Lombardi would go on to work with Belichick. Purely coincidental. Purely coincidental.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.